want instant gratification when it comes to this sort of thing. Isn't that correct, Al?
That's exactly right, and that's why I like to entitle the presentation, Things to Do to Get Business Now. So why don't we get started with the instant marketing tactic number 1. Some of these are going to sound a little bit funny, but let me tell you, first and foremost, I've proven these. I've seen others prove these. The research for Guerrilla Marketing in 30 Days showed examples of these actually happening. Nominate yourself for an award. If you go online, you can see a whole bunch of opportunities to do this, especially for website awards. It wasn't, I think maybe you did mention it in my introduction, that I'm a member of the USA Today Small Business Panel.
Right, I mean, that sounds very impressive.
Well, everybody that's listening can do the same thing by just going to the USA Today website and signing up for it. And that's kind of the example that I'm using here. That doesn't cost any money, yet it's very imaginative. Fast Company magazine nominated me one time in 2005 to be one of their Fast 50, ordinary people doing extraordinary things through innovation and technology. That nomination is a self-nomination. And you nominate yourself and then publicize the heck out of it. Publicize the award if you win any subsequent award to that, and use it in things like your bio. Use it in things like your introduction. Make a big deal about it because it gives you tremendous credibility, and it really makes you very marketable to your target market. So I really like this one, especially because it's free. So nominate yourself for an award. And you can go online and type into a search engine business awards or small business awards or website awards or any kind of functional awards like speaking award or something like that. And many times find things that take self-nominations.
And probably a good thing to point out here is don't be shy about nominating yourself, right?
Absolutely. That's the name of the game. Nobody's going to blow your horn more than you. And once you do that, make sure you publicize it. Make sure you let the media know what's going on. And that's a pretty good segue into this instant marketing tactic number 2. Also in my introduction, you heard Susan say that I review Super Bowl commercials every year. I help a lot of businesses find news events or find current events that they can tie themselves to as experts, and then let the media know that they're available to make comment, and then they usually get an interview or they get a mention in a newspaper or things like that. I was helping so many businesses do this, I said to myself one year, "Self, you better be doing this for yourself." And I said, what's going on in the marketplace right now? What's going on in the news right now? What's current right now that's related to me? And I'm in the marketing business, so I said, what's related to marketing? And I came up with the Super Bowl commercials one day. I said, all these Super Bowl commercials that people talk about before and after the game, during the game, sometimes more than the game itself, is related to me. So I can be an expert, offer to review those, and send a press release to radio stations all over the country saying, Guerrilla Marketing expert available to review Super Bowl commercials the day after the Super Bowl. And lo and behold, I get on the radio. The first year I did that, I did maybe 2 or 3 radio interviews. The second year I did maybe 5 or 6. This past year, my whole day on Monday and some into Tuesday was booked doing Super Bowl commercial reviews on the radio at radio stations all over the country, and I did those from my home over the telephone. It was a great way to get exposure, to get awareness. I did subsequently get business as a result of it. Everybody on the call can find one of those news stories related to their business. I use the USA Today newspaper. There's always something in there. If anybody on the call is related to the financial business, interest rates are always going up or always going down. They can comment on that as an expert. I tell chiropractors and massage therapists and anybody related to that type of business to comment on these 10K runs and these half marathons and these Avon walks that communities are always having. You can offer yourself as an expert to editors and reporters to talk about things like stretching exercises before the walk or before the race. And typically what happens is these editors or reporters will want to use your name to substantiate what they're writing about, or they may even call you to interview you. So that's what I mean by saying tie yourself to a news or a current event, a news story or a current event situation, because editors and reporters love to substantiate their stories, and they love to be credible by quoting experts. And everybody on the call listening is an expert of some sort in something. It's okay to say that. It's okay to use that. People like to listen to experts. People like to buy from experts. And you can substantiate that in a news story.
Before we go too much farther, Al, John has a question. I know you mentioned the USA Today website, but are there any places that you could go to nominate yourself for particular awards? Any quick suggestions you might have?
I go into a search engine and type in self-nomination awards, and sometimes you can find them. I know that many websites allow that, and you can type in website awards and find some that way. But I don't know of any particular sites. I just use a search engine to guide me through that. Shall we move on?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Let me move on to instant marketing tactic number 3. Now, this is one of those ones that falls into the category of maybe very unusual. Some people might even say hokey. But I'm a big believer in extreme marketing and outrageous marketing because that's the type of marketing that gets noticed. I've actually seen this done. I've not tried it personally, but I have seen the PR that resulted from it. And that is stage a protest or a demonstration where you're protesting something very positive. You know, so many protests are protesting negative things or controversial situations. But imagine picket signs in front of your place of business that had painted on it, great customer service practiced here. These people are interested in customers, something very positive. You can publicize this either before or after it happens, but once it happens and you repeat it, you definitely will get exposure within the media. So this is one of those little things, but it's something that I guarantee you that your competition isn't doing. It will make you stand out. People will take notice, especially when the media starts covering it. So that's kind of a small one, but it works.
Well, you really have to be creative is what I hear you saying too.
Well, as I started at the beginning, guerrilla marketing is based on information, knowledge, time, energy, and imagination. So these ideas that I'm putting forth here are only limited by our imagination. We've heard that expression before, but nothing could be truer as it relates to guerrilla marketing, and exactly to your point.